Hey yo, good time back again. Once again, let's lock in. Shout out to the IPA, the International Passport Association, and affiliates. Good docs, good books, good docs, good merch. Listed in the links in the description area below and below this video. I think one of the realest things that anybody has ever said about anybody who chooses to participate in the passport community and go abroad, and one of the main reasons why they should, is because we have to learn to get outside of our comfort zone. Right? It's very easy to be comfortable. Super easy to be super comfortable. Right? When you've grown up in a society, grown up in a community, grown up in an area that you know everybody that's around you, you know what to expect, you know what you're dealing with, this, that, and the other, it's very easy to get complacent. And a lot of people, I believe, are just complacent. I think a lot of guys that find themselves in relationships are just dealing with those relationships because they feel like there's nothing else out there for them. And in reality, as a man, this is one thing that I've noticed about my brethren who live that life in the United States, who have never traveled before. Because I've heard them say it time and time again, but they don't hear themselves saying it. I hear them saying it, but they don't hear themselves saying it. But when they're in relationships and the relationship is shit, or the girl is getting on their nerves, or this, that, and the other and shit, they're like, man, shit, man. You know, she's always been there, or she's always been down. That's the reason I continue to rock with her, because it's what I know. It's who I know, and it's what I feel comfortable with. In one way or another, those are the words that come out of their mouths. And I think to myself, I can't help you get outside of your comfort zone. I can only show you a couple of videos, show you what I've experienced, tell you that you can have those same experiences too, and pray that you follow suit. Because unless you married this chick, unless you got kids with this young lady, there's very little that's keeping you attached to a specific significant other. There's very little that's attaching you to them if you're not married or you don't have kids with them. I understand that it's hard to move on to something new. I understand that new things is difficult. Trust me. I'm never one to shy away from new shit, but if I feel like that new shit ain't for me, I'll be like, nah, it ain't for me, before I even give it a chance. So I understand that's something that as a man I gotta work on too, but I feel like all of my guys who are hearing constantly, time in and time out, all these other guys making videos about, yo man, I found me a beautiful young thing in South Korea, I found me a beautiful young thing in the Philippines, beautiful young thing in Japan, beautiful young thing in Brazil, the DR, Colombia. You see all of these guys dealing with these fucking beautiful young ladies. And the relationship, if you want to call it that, if that's what it is actually fucking working. Now you're like, damn, if he can do it, why can't I? And I seen some motherfuckers with some chicks. I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is a true story, and I think a lot of my brethren can co-sign on this, right? I've been in the Philippines, like I said, man, 10 years straight. I lived there a whole decade. And I've seen guys with girls, and I'd be like, golly, how did he get that girl? Like, I'd be thinking to myself, damn, looking at him, I'm like, yo, how did this man get this? Like, golly, like, what in the world is going on here? You have those moments. But then you realize, you step back and say, yo, my man must be doing something right. My man got to be doing something right. It don't matter what the relationship is. He got it, right? So in the back of my mind, the way that I look at it is, gentlemen, we've got to learn to get outside of our comfort zones. 2023 is the year for y'all to get outside your comfort zone. I pray on everything that I love that you find one place to travel to. I don't care if you just go down to Mexico. I don't care. Mexico is fine. It's not that far, right? I know the DR, Colombia, Brazil, places like that, those are shorter flights than, you know, going to Southeast Asia like I would. But go somewhere. Fuck, I don't even care if you go to Canada. I'm not really gonna sit there and bank on you having differential experiences in Canada that you find in the United States. But go somewhere, please. I beg you. Baby steps. That's all it takes, man. Luckily for me, I was able to take the giant leap. I got lucky. I was blessed. I will say that. Shout out to my father, my brother, my OG, my pimpin' like that. Shout out to my family. Like I said, I was able to take a larger leap than most people, but if you don't feel comfortable making the large leap, baby steps, right? And there's always a group of guys, man. There's always a group out there Hopefully a couple of friends that you know have traveled before too. But if you haven't, why don't y'all just make it something y'all do together so you don't have to jump on this bitch alone, jump on this ship alone and figure it out by yourself. A lot of people are scared. That's pretty much the main reason why a lot of people don't travel. They'll have it in their mind, yo, man, I want to go to the, Colombia this year. And your boys be like, well, why the fuck you want to go there for? Right? You got people in your life that'll ask you dumb questions. Why you want to go there for? And then when they start asking those questions, you start questioning yourself, right? Well, damn, why do I really want to go here? What is the legit reason why I want to go here? Well, shit, man, if I'm going to end up having to go by myself, I might as well not do it, right? No different than when you go into a party and all your boys say, man, we got shit to do, we ain't doing it. If they don't go to the party, you not going to the party. It's the same rules apply, but on a larger scale, right? Sometimes you just have to find that balance between, like they say, being comfortable, being uncomfortable, or getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. You got to find that balance, guys. Because without it, you'll never do shit. You'll be stuck where you at. You ain't gonna never do shit with your life. And you just gonna be bored, resentful, probably just mad all the fucking time. And I don't want that for you, bruh. I don't. When I said that some of my most profound experience came from a life overseas, I mean that shit. Some of the greatest relationships I've ever built came from a life overseas. Like, we're talking about, just for an example for myself only, rubbing shoulders with the 1%ers and shit. Like, putting yourself in different circles that otherwise you may not have touched in the United States, or otherwise you may not have wanted to touch in the United States. That's just a quick example. Like, when you interact with people in different circles and shit, it broadens your perspective on everything. Like, damn, this shit nice. Like, this is cool. I value this. It puts things in perspective. I do believe travel helps you to appreciate shit. When I say appreciation, I mean appreciate what you have, where you come from, and your ability to be able to move. People would goddamn give their left testicle to do the shit that a lot of us are able to do with our passports. But yet still, you don't do shit with yours, even if you have one, or if you don't have one, you don't do something. It's just another form of ID for your ass. Now I'm saying they're like, bro, how you get a passport, don't use it? Or why don't you have your passport yet? You're in your 20s, late 20s, early 30s. Where your passport at, bro? Now, if you're comfortable, man, I can't help you to want to do new shit. I can't tell you what to do with you, man. You gotta want to do that shit for yourself. All I could do is say, bro, we travel now because we see a light at the end of the tunnel that otherwise was non-existent for a lot of guys. Traveling abroad has opened up a new window of opportunity that otherwise had it's always been there, but it hasn't been so advertised, broadcasted, or marketed on such a large scale until the last couple of years, man. It hasn't been as large scale as it is right now in the last couple of years. The opportunity has always been there, man. You got people who have been traveling since they had their military times in Japan and shit, and other people who have chosen to live that life abroad because they knew back then what only few people are starting to realize right now. So even if you can't travel with a group, I know it's a risk, but if you could find somebody who's already living in that country, maybe a channel that you follow, somebody you rock with, somebody you have communication with, somebody you talk to when you're telling them that you're thinking about heading out there, and you can see if that person is willing to help you figure some shit out, or be somebody that could, not necessarily mentor you, but I guess mentor you to an extent. If you feel like you need it, go for it. I say fucking watch all their videos, figure out what they're talking about, the do's and don'ts, what to avoid, what to lock into, what to lean into, and then work with it, man. I mean, because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, even if it doesn't work out, I say this all the time. A lot of people don't like when I say this shit, but I like saying this shit because it's true. Even if it don't work out, in case they don't tell you this, you can always go back home. I don't encourage it, and I don't see there being a reason for you to ever have to return back home with your tail between your legs and shit, and you still continue with the nonsense that you've been dealing with forever. But heaven forbid, you go abroad and you have a situation and the shit don't work out for you, or you're not feeling the country. Guess what? The United States ain't going nowhere, player. Your home country is not going anywhere. So at the end of the day, you're not missing out on shit, right? For you to travel, you're not missing out on fucking nothing. Because that country that you came from, it'll be there tomorrow. And the next day. And the fucking next day. So grab your balls, ladies and gentlemen. Get your passport, man. Get the traveling. Go and get the getting, because the good dog got to go about his business. All right? Appreciate y'all locking in, man. This has been a good dog, man. We're going to do some good things in 2023. We're going to see. All right? But I'm locked in, ladies and gentlemen. I love y'all sincerely, man. Again, thank you for continuing to rock with me. Hope you guys enjoy the content. If you did, share, like, comment, subscribe. You already know what to do if you want to support the channel. Good docs, good books, merch, description area below. Y'all take care, man. Y'all stay blessed. Doc is out. Peace.